Yeah.
roughly how much have you made since you started?
Last year, we made about $20,000.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of the Photo Booth 101 University. We have Hans and we have a special guest. We have Matt. Matt, really quick, man, can you just introduce yourself to the audience and tell us what you got going on as far as business goes?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on here. My name is Matt Gonzalez down here in Orange County, California. We have a couple different things going. We have a business called a la carte. We basically do anything from party rentals to just got in to photo booths. And we do champagne cards, flower walls. They're freestanding flower walls and champagne walls as well. And then we have a business too, which is our main business of luxury car service as well.
Is there any similarities between your two businesses that you do that you've noticed, or are they just completely different?
I think I've really tried to, cater to the higher end client, basically. So with the high end car service that we do with luxury cars, and that type of clientele we wanted to bring on over and do with my wife's vision of a la carte and bringing in just kind of a luxury amenity, right? So not everybody can just go out on a Wednesday and have champagne. So we know down here in Orange County and basically Southern California too, it's there's a lot of those people that just want to go out and have parties and just that photo op. And a part of just that we're trying to cater to a certain clientele. um, I try to make it a niche thing, and that's the reason why that's how I met you, is going and coming up with the photo booths too, and adding that to that type of clientele where it's not just everybody, but it's kind of like a niche community that we want to reach.
Another question that I had is because you're in the champagne card. I have no idea
Yeah.
what a champagne card is. Can you just tell me what like a champagne card, like do you pass them out? Do you just put them in the corner like a champagne wall? I'm imagining a champagne wall like those walls that you see at weddings where they just get the champagne off the wall, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. That's a great
So
question.
what do you do? Like I don't know.
Yeah, so a part of my thing is it's like my car service, right? The idea to go out there and make lots of money is you get all these cars, you put drivers in them, you go out there and get things done. So with the champagne cart business as well, these are actually freestanding carts that we deliver to weddings or whoever, venues. A lot of baby showers have been renting us out. And it's a cart. Not sure if you can see it right on over there.
Mhm.
But the cart itself holds 40 glasses on it, 2 bottles of champagne. So the good thing is that either one of like I can send it, or if we have a worker could serve to our customers as well, or you can physically just grab one of the glasses off there and pour it. It's a luxury item, right? We're in the day and age of if I didn't put it on social media, it didn't happen.
Okay.
And so that's why we're doing these the photo booths, right? It's because people are taking a picture of a wedding or a quinceanera or a birthday party or whatever. And we're down in Orange County, and you guys are basically in Los Angeles and everything like that. And everybody goes out and they want something to up everybody. And that's what we're finding. Like people are like, I've never seen this before. I gotta have it. And it's like it's so cool to see it go from there too. But at the same time, like you said, with the champagne walls, you had to kind of the idea of the champagne wall where your guests can just go right up and you can have them all pre-filled, and your guests can just take it right off and they got their champagne and they kind of do their toast or whatever for it. So again, it goes back to how can we put these out there, make money, and not have to be there, and upscale this thing where we can have, four, six, eight of these things going at one time. And all we're doing is dropping them off, going to the next one, dropping them off, picking them back up. And they're making money while they're sitting there.
That's cool. So that's cool. So it's perfect for drop offs then.
100%. 100%. Now, don't get me wrong. If you want me to be there, Drew says it in a lot of his videos, it's going to cost you to do it. My time is worth something.
For the champagne cart business that you guys have, can you talk about how you ended up going that route? How'd you hear about it? and your journey, starting off, getting to where you guys are now.
Yeah, it was awesome. So basically, I'm going to take it a little bit back. We started with COVID. COVID absolutely destroyed our car service. Imagine nobody was taking, going to the airport. Nobody was going to basketball games or football games or anything like that, or concerts. And I always say to myself now, after COVID has taught me, don't put all my eggs in one basket. And that's been kind of my motto from last 4 years. And I've always reached out and told my wife, like, hey, let's come up with side gigs. I'm like the master of coming up and doing side stuff, and finding a way to make money, or just go out there and just create businesses with nothing. And a lot of the idea came from my wife. I would say the large part about it. So she came to me and she says, hey, I got this great idea. She's like, I want to open up this venue and have it where, anybody can afford us and come out. And I'm like, listen to my wife. I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea, but you don't make money doing that. Like, we're not rich, so you have to kind of, cut it up and make it wherever you want to do. And so a couple days later, she came back to me and she's like, look at this champagne cart. And I'm like, what the heck is a champagne cart? And she's like, no, but look at this. We can rent this thing out. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like this is amazing, and if you know anything about my wife, like, her attention to detail is so immaculate, and she won't do anything without putting all of her effort into it. So we got this champagne cart, and my wife knows me. Once I get something, I'm going to go full-fledged into it. So we get it, we rent it out, and I'm like, oh my goodness, go get another one. And she's like, it makes her all nervous, right? And I'm like, this is fun. And all of a sudden, people started renting it out. And I'm like, you know what? We could do it for businesses. We can do it for weddings. We can do it for birthday parties, bridal showers, everything. And it just started going from there. And we kind of really made, I guess, our business. I don't want to speak for everybody else because I don't know when people started bringing out champagne carts, but I can tell you that we get calls all the way from San Francisco. So San Francisco to Orange County is quite a bit of difference, right? Like, there's about 8 hours, if we drive. So the fact that we're getting calls all the way from San Francisco and Oakland and all that kind of stuff, we've made it where we don't want to structure it where it's a la carte, right? But I know, Drew, you do your business like that, but we want people to be able to pick and choose and do what they want. But at the same time, we want to kind of structure it where it's not chaotic. You know what I mean? Like, we have certain packages that you can get from us and all that. So we're just kind of learning as we go. And I think the icing on the cake was adding the photo booths to it. With our flower walls that we have, our flower walls are 8 feet by 8 feet standing flower walls. And I just think that the photo booth is just going to come so perfect with all of it together, because we just had a wedding and they used it for 2 hours and it was just for photos. I mean, how cool is that? It's absolutely amazing. So we're kind of taking it day by day, and as our customers come, we're kind of learning from them as well, and creating this little business, which is coming into a very good business for us as well. It's not just a side business, but it's coming up to a full business right now.
I love it. Yeah. Question.
Yeah.
What was the startup cost for the a la carte business? And if you don't mind sharing to the audience,
yeah,
roughly how much have you made since you started, the champagne cart business?
Sure. So the champagne cart business, we started with one of them. Each one of the champagne carts, we get them out of the country. So they come, it takes about 30 days for them to get them. They're roughly about $1,000. But then if you start adding the little things into it, glasses, decorations, things of such, you're looking at about, I would say, about $1,200, $1,300 to total start up to it. So right now we have 4 champagne carts, 2 champagne walls, and 6 flower walls. So just the carts itself, last year we made about $20,000. And now that came up really quickly because we didn't know how to advertise this thing. I was going to Facebook Marketplace and just putting all these, in Costa Mesa, right? Just putting all these little, here we go, we got this amazing thing, and it just blew up. I mean, the number one thing, if you look up champagne carts in Southern California, it's a la carte party rentals. That's with zero advertising, zero money spent on anything. And it just took off from there.
Wow. So you said 20,000, huh?
About 20,000 last year. And now the 20,000 only realistically came from about, I would say May, June. So about half a year. And that's with us not knowing anything about the business and hopping into it.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, you're answering a lot of the questions we already have ready for you. But so Hans, I was gonna see if you can maybe shed some light here on for Matt, he has his cart business, and then now he's implementing the photo booth business. Sorry, it's a little noisy here, but you have your mechanical bull business, and you had that before your photo booth. So is there anything maybe you would tell Matt to kind of combine an existing rental business with a photo booth business?
Yeah, because he kind of answered the question of like why he chose photo booth over everything else. Because I chose photo booths because I kept on getting inquiries for the photo booths. Was that something that you kept getting asked, or did you just like you said, you like the master of side gigs and you thought you could take on that challenge at the same time?
I mean, when my mind starts to go, I just get a wild hair up my butt, and I'm like, I just start doing all these research. And big shout out to Drew. I mean, I started Googling it, and I just kept on seeing all these TikTok ads coming up, or not ads, but just TikTok videos. And I just kept on going down each one of Drew, and I felt like I started to know him, off of TikTok. And I just kept on going from there. And I'm like, man. And then my mind went from the photo booth to these flower walls that are just absolutely stunning. And again, how I like to put my business is I want things to link together. Like my car service is luxury. The a la cartes are luxury. I mean, you can actually see one in the back here. We just actually did one for Jimmy Choo. And Jimmy Choo just hired us again too. So it's pretty cool. But when it starts to roll and go out from there, I just thought if people are renting our carts, they might want a service of getting photo booths and all that kind of stuff. So just putting the pots together and whatever links together, that's what we've kind of went from there. We've never had formal training on who in the heck sells or rents out champagne carts. You don't really hear about that. So we're just kind of putting the missing links together.
What do you if you don't mind, like on a lower end event, what is the rate? And then on a higher end event, how much are you making? Just so people watching can kind of get an idea of what the market is like for your cart business.
Yeah, so we're still trying to figure out all that, but right now we have our basic price is $350. That comes with 4 hours of the cart, comes with 40 glasses, and the cart itself, not decorated, nothing. Then we have a next level up, will be $400 for 4 hours. And that comes with 40 glasses. It comes with the cart itself and for 4 hours, and we decorate it for you as well. We have stuff that we decorate. So there's rules about it too. We don't want people taping, pasting, stapling anything to the cart itself as well. And we tell people not to go all out because the cart itself is going to make, the statement itself. And then our next level up from that is $695. And that comes with all of the level before, all of that, plus we will serve champagne to you and your guests and greet people as they come in for 4 hours.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. That's such a crazy thing. I didn't even know that was like a service. I've seen them, but I've never asked them. I thought that was just part of the venues or something. I didn't know that was just a business that people actually go there and drop it off.
Yeah.
So, man, that's crazy. That was a venue thing. Which one do you think takes more time to set up? Like for me, more time consuming for me is the mechanical bulls just because of the cleaning them up and stuff. Do you find doing that the same thing where you have to clean up the champagne if they spill on the cart or something like that?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, for the most part, people are pretty respectful for it, because they realize what it is and everything like that. Now we do our cleaning and everything like that, but just like going and setting anything up, right? You got to know, okay, where are we going to put it? Where's the outlets at, to do whatever, and what position do you want it? So that takes a little bit more time, but honestly, maybe a half hour to set up, It's
Mhm.
not that bad at all. Then when you come back, we have our little cleaning solutions that we go and do. We have a little route that we do. Actually, this cart breaks down into 3 different tiers. So the top part comes off, the rails itself come out, and then you have the bottom part too that it is. So we take it out in 3. We pull all the glasses down, put the dirty ones away, and then you're done. And that honestly, the breakdown takes 15 minutes.
Mhm.
So it's
So
a
what
really
would you say
cool.
takes more time, like setting up the photo booth and all the templates, or cleaning the glasses? Because I could imagine cleaning glasses takes a while.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's probably the one part that my wife hates the worst is like cleaning glasses and all that kind of stuff. So of course that does, but you just throw them in the dishwasher. At our office, we have a dishwasher and all that kind of stuff too. So that does take time, but it's not like I can't give you an honest answer what between that and the photo booths and the champagne cart because we just got into the photo booth business. But I'm sure, you know, with everybody's help and all that kind of stuff, we're going to be able to link it in. Again, our idea is not to go out there and spend a ton of time on, you know, setups or breakdowns or anything like that. Our idea is to put multiple units out there and find out the way. I'm kind of really I find little odds and ends way to make things faster, make things easier. I've always been told work smarter, not harder.
So that's true.
Well, yeah. So in the photo booth business, and I'm going to ask you this question for the cart business. I get asked often for the rentals. I have a photographer. Why would I need a photo booth? So I would think maybe some people would ask you, we have a bartender. Why would we need a champagne cart? Would you have an answer for that?
I think the best answer for that is, and that is a good question. I think we get asked differently, but it's something with the champagne carts. It's what people want, right? They've seen it on Instagram, or they've seen their friend have it, or something, or they again they go back to they want to be the first person to put it on social media, right? So ours is kind of like a destination wedding, right? Like it's different than what other people have had.
Mm.
So you know, yeah, what we get is in a different case, we'll get people that say, hey, can we get your $350 package because we already have a balloon person or something like that. And we're like, cool, you know, it's if you want to go and spend $700-800 on something, have at it, not a problem. You know, it's or we can just do this. But I always go back to keep it simple. We're in this business for a reason. We kind of know all that kind of stuff. So I would imagine again, I'm just coming into the photo booth business, but they might have their own props, you know, but are they going to be the props that kind of everybody else goes to and kind of that you know in the business as well too? So
Yeah, yeah, it's so common. Backdrops, I know Hans can vouch. A lot of customers want to bring their own backdrops, but most of the time the backdrops are bad. It's
right.
always something that I yeah. Oh, yeah, they're getting literally like 6 foot wide, 5 foot tall backdrops, and it's never a nice look. Absolutely not. But so the question I get asked often is like, hey, I have a photographer. Why would we need a photo booth? And what I always explain to everybody is the difference is a photographer is usually taking photos of people, like candid photos, and sometimes they'll have them pose for photos, but every single photo taken in a photo booth is a photo people want to take. And it's also like an entertainment piece, especially, for the iPad booths, because you can do more than a photo. You could do GIF, boomerang, video recording, and it's a totally different experience. So, as you're starting off, I think the best thing that you could do as a business owner for a photo booth is understand every single thing that it offers and the value there. And I'm excited because you guys want to get into the higher end, and I know for a fact you're gonna probably have access to high end clients, because if they're renting your cart, I'm gonna assume they have some money, because that's not something the average Joe will be like, no, I want that. So it's not uncommon to make $2,000-3,000 for some of these events, and it's insane to think the ROI on a photo booth, especially the iPad booth. For you, it could be 2 to 3 events before you make your money back, if that. So yeah, Hans, you have any other questions here for Matt?
Yeah, man. I really want to know which one's more fun to you. When I do mechanical bulls, I still like the photo booths more because it's usually less like like physical demanding. Like me setting up a mechanical bull is pretty heavy, so that's not fun for me. But no, I don't know how heavy your equipment is because I know glass could be super heavy, but for like taking all that into consideration, heaviness and then funness, like which one is more fun for you?
Well, he just started. He just got his booth.
Yeah,
Oh,
just got the booth,
Yeah.
but we have it out. Actually, the booth is right over there.
Ah, there we go.
So yeah, I'm super excited about this. I'm super excited to be a part of Drew's network. But I'm gonna bring it back to what's fun. Um, all of this is fun, and it's fun because it's me and my wife doing it. It's an opportunity for me to create a business with my wife. It's an opportunity to get out there and just kind of just be together, because my other job, like I'm driving people, she's not in the passenger seat, right? So it's a great opportunity for couples to do it with it. It is physically demanding, both sides of it. I think the joy that we've seen, we just saw bride and groom, and they rented it again. Like I said, that they wouldn't let the venue wouldn't let the bride and groom even use our champagne cart unless they paid per glass, per person, and it was gonna be like $5 a glass or something like that. It was just something stupid, like crazy. But they posted about our champagne cart. So I look at it at the business side, right? I'm gonna run and go with it, but this is something that my wife's passionate about, that I'm passionate about. So I go on that part. As far as the physically demanding part, I think Drew's done a good job, and that's why kind of, I like this way of making it the easiest as possible, right? To go in there to a venue, to set up, to break it down, to go into all that kind of stuff. And that's what's important, is get in there, make your money while you can, right? Tomorrow's never promised. So get in there, make your money, and do all that kind of stuff. So I can imagine each one of them have their own different separate ways. With the photo booth, kind of go off on that too, and is I kind of want to go after corporate, and a lot of corporate, because for me it's about, I want to maximize my time and my money. I don't want to leave $1 on the table, So if there's more money to make, I'm the type of guy that would rather make more money than plan out a bunch of different ones and make a little bit of money. You know what I mean? So for my time, I want to maximize my time and my money.
Man,
And that kind of makes it, in both businesses.
I love that. Yeah. It's funny you mentioned like, you know, making it easy as possible. Man, you should hear the stories Hans has from Mechanical Bulls, man.
I can imagine.
Those motors, right? Weren't you saying like sometimes you got to like swap out the motors and do some engine work?
so because you were telling like, oh, like I don't know, just getting into the business of it. I'm like, dude, Drew, what I love about the photo booth is that I've only called you twice for technical support, not even breaking down, just for technical support. And within like what, when I told you that, like after a year of knowing you, and I told you I called my mechanical bull guy, the manufacturer that I called him 7 times within 3 months. So it's like, bro,
Yeah.
photo booth
Yeah.
is so much easier.
And Matt, you went the right way. The iPad is so much easier than the DSLR setup. But obviously having a nice extravagant mirror photo booth, that will definitely be the top level of a photo booth as far as aesthetics. But when it comes to portability, simplicity, reliability, and most importantly, a drop off, the iPad is the only way. I mean, I've been in this business for 9 years. I think 4 years ago is when we completely dropped. Well, 3 to 4 years ago, we completely stopped doing the DSLR, and I don't miss it one bit. I have no regrets. And I'm excited, man. We should do a follow up. We should do a follow up interview a few months in when you got some more some events under your belt for the photo booth.
I think too. I think that people, everybody has a budget, right? Like when they're initially going out to purchasing, and not that I have an open budget or anything like that. But my thing is, I believe that I talked to you about this. I want to buy one time. I don't want to sit here and make all these different mistakes, because that costs you more down the road.
Yeah.
So if you buy right the first time, you can just go from there. You don't have to, oh, I just made this mistake, so let me scratch out this $2,000, or I made this mistake, let me scratch this $200 out, So just to buy right the first time. I mean, that's extremely important. And that comes with advertising too, right? So make sure that you know who your client is and who you're going after. And, hopefully it all aligns from there.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. It, one question I did want to ask you, man, what were your struggles with the champagne cart business when you first started? So I'm just thinking of the person that sees this video and a light bulb comes on and they want to get started in this business. What are some things that you can give them that they should be expecting?
I think purchase right. For what your budget is definitely one of the things. And just making things simple. Like even with our website, that when we did all the way down to our website, we built it extremely simple. My wife had this idea and vision, and I kind of know her. We've done several businesses together. And as much as when you log onto our website, it says click here for champagne. So literally, if you're on your phone, you just click here and it opens up the website. One of the number one things that people ask or tell us a lot of times is, my God, I loved your website. So it starts from the first contact when you're making, people are spending money. Remember, this is not a bill that has to be done, a purchase. This is something that people are like, hey, I like this idea. And I think everybody should personalize it and make it for who they are. Find your customer. Who are you? And one of the biggest struggles was for us is, how are we going to tear this thing down and move this without breaking it? And I was literally, there's wheels on this thing, and I was literally setting it up and going underneath the cart and like putting the wheels in, and I'm like, there's got to be a better way. So we put it in the back of my SUV. I get underneath it and I take the wheels off, and I'm like, boom, there you go. So having a game plan, and just moving forward that is easiest for you.
Love it. Yeah. So my takeaway here is from you, what I've learned from this conversation is, you know who your target customer is.
Mm-hmm.
You know exactly the type of events you want to do. You're not being cheap, cutting corners on equipment. And what would be a rule here that I'm missing? So anything that you took away here, Hans? Just a recap here.
Oh man, well,
That's all solid stuff, by the way.
You answered all the questions before I was even able to ask them, but no, you covered everything. I mean, the only things that I have left is like, what software are you planning on using? But that's more like photo booth related. But since I know that you're just starting off, just I guess reach out to us if you need help. But like, I recommend Luma, but their salsa is pretty good too.
Yeah.
Matt is probably somebody we should become really good friends with, because if he's targeting these high-end events, if he ever needs a white label event, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's another thing too. And thank you for that, Hans, too, is, I've spoke a lot with Drew, so I'm the complete opposite of you. I've been blowing Drew's phone up, and the great thing about Drew is that he answers every single time. And so the white label stuff is exactly what we do on my limo side, my private car side, but it's called affiliate work. So I'm extremely excited about that. We'll definitely have to follow up with that, because that's how I make a ton of side money with my car company. And I think that I shouldn't say that, because I really want to know what you guys do in the white label part about it, because that's what I'm interested in. Because once you sell out, why turn your phone off?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's other people out there, the network that we have going on, all that kind of stuff. So I will probably use that the most out of anybody. And I'm not calling anybody out. I'm not trying to be, a big shot or anything like that. But I really know that area. And I think that that's a fantastic area. The white label is a fantastic thing to be able to use, and a group of people that you can get together and know and trust is a huge thing that you can make extra money with.
I do that well with my mechanical bulls all the time. I got two mechanical bull people that I trust and I know personally, like I've met them in person, and that's who I give out. I, like you said, I don't turn off my phone. My phone, like, hey, do you have a bull? I got one, don't worry. And I call my guy. My guy doesn't have one. I got a second guy, and that's just at least $50 to $100 in my pocket just for answering that phone call and just giving them that job. So, I mean, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's the easiest money you've probably made in a long time.
Yeah.
It's the
Exactly.
it's the most passive. You're just connecting two people together. There's no pressure on you. This is why I tell everybody it's really good to make friends and build relationships with people. It's, this business doesn't need to be so cutthroat. Some people refuse to be friends or even talk to, Joe's photo booth company down the street. Like, we did about 4,000 last year,
Wow.
just from white labeling. And we're talking like probably no more than 2 hours worth of actual work to, getting the lead, handing it out. And that's why I like Photo Booth 101, because, we have people everywhere, not just me. You guys have access to people in Temecula, San Diego, some places. So
Well,
I
there's
tell everyone,
people back east too.
yeah, oh yeah, we're in Canada. We got people everywhere, Africa. But like, there should never be a reason you turn something down. Like, Matt, even if someone is like, hey, do you do 360? I mean, you don't have to, but you could say, yeah, we have someone on our team, or we're affiliated with, that can do it. Like, Hans just got a 360 booth. So if I ever get a lead and I don't want to do a 360, guess who I'm calling? I'm calling Hans.
Yeah. So just to give you an idea, last year I probably did $50,000 worth of affiliate work in my limo company.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's a comparison. I know that it's different. It's two different entities that you're working with, but utilizing other people's. I had a friend that one of mine told me, you don't just have 5 cars, you have 50 cars. So you can reach out, you can use these. This weekend, I had 2 cars in Vegas. I had cars in Dallas, cars in Arizona. So it can be the same exact thing with this business. Now I know I got 360 booths and rides that I can play off to people. I am very good at that and doing that, and I think it's not about making and killing it on one person when it comes to that. It's about doing several businesses, and you don't have to do anything besides a phone call. That's magical.
It's crazy. Yeah. I had a question here too about the cart, and then we can wrap it, get close to wrapping it up. So for the champagne cart, do you provide the champagne, or is this something that the customers are providing for you?
Great question. Remember, we go back to a la carte.
Another
add-on. So what we do is that we have a vendor that supplies us whatever it is. So we just had, and you can kind of see in the back, Jimmy Choo is using us. That's a huge name brand, right? And they have a specific champagne that they like. So yeah, we can provide it. It's going to cost you extra. So these numbers that I'm giving you, the 350, the 400, and the 695 are without alcohol. That is a separate thing. And then you go back to another question that you said is that, hey, I have my own photographer. Well, I can bring my own, champagne. I'm like, great, go ahead and do that. I don't mind. Or if you want extra glasses, we're going to charge you for extra glasses. So that's the whole reason why my wife came up with a la carte, was because we want to hodgepodge everything together. If we can make it happen, if people want cotton candy, with it, we can make it happen. If they want fruit or whatever with it, if they want a shirt and they want Dom Perignon. Yes. Here's the deal when it comes to our services, right? And I think that we can all agree. We're in the business to say yes, right? So the better that you become a yes person, the more money that you're going to make. That's why the white label works so well. Even if you're completely sold out and you've been sold out for months, if you have a network behind you that come up and we can say yes, those people will always pick up the phone and call you because you never say no.
Love it.
Yep. That's so true. And it's the day and age we live in. I call it the Amazon effect.
Yeah.
So, all right. Yeah. So where can people follow you if they're interested in your cart business? They want to give you a follow or just see what you're doing. Where can they find you?
Awesome. So a la carte is ALACART, and then we do party rentals. So it's alacartepartyrentals.com. And then you can find us on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram as well with a la carte party. A la carte, I think, is right. A la carte party. Yeah, a la carte party.
Yeah. So I'll leave all that in the description, guys. The first links in the video will be for Matt and his business, and then also, of course, as always, Hans, profile down there. Anything else, Hans, you wanna ask before we hop off here?
Oh man, thank you, Matt, for your time, man. It was really interesting learning about a business that I had no idea how it works. So, I know I love learning about new businesses and how they work. So, thank you for
Yeah,
that.
I appreciate you.
I feel
Thank
like I feel like I want to get a cart now. I'm curious.
you. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right, you guys, thank you for watching. And as always, make sure to give us a follow. Let us know in the comments what you think about the business. If you're interested, or if you have any other questions for Matt, maybe the next follow-up podcast, we can ask those questions. But thank you guys so much. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.